Well, first of all, I want to thank you. My name is Cindy Johnson, and I am honored to be a part of this series, Did I Die? I was invited to join the group of individuals who have been interviewed for this particular series by Gail Matthews. I am both a friend but also a clergy member and the minister of a church that she attends occasionally here when she's in this area. And she asked me if I would speak to the issue of how faith plays into a person's experience as they go through the particular journey, hard, arduous, tragic journey of living and watching and saying goodbye to someone who has and suffers with and ultimately loses their life to this disease of Alzheimer's. I was struck as I watched the various individuals who spoke to their experience of living with loved ones who have this disease and who've lost their life to this disease, how particularly tragic it is, because essentially what's happening is that they're learning how to say goodbye, and it's a slow goodbye, and essentially what's happening is they're losing their connection with the one that they love. And all of these stories spoke to they were a love story about someone that they were having to say goodbye to. The one piece that I was struck with, and I heard this mentioned over and over again from both Gail as she spoke, Sally spoke in her interview about losing this connection. Even the president of the VNA spoke to the importance in the process of living and loving and caring for someone with this disease, is that how important it is to know that you are not alone. And that comes in a lot of different forms, of course, and it comes from the support of sisters and brothers, siblings, from your children. It comes in the support of community members. The piece that I wanted to address, and the piece that I am confident in assuring people of, is that there is, in fact, a higher power out there that says you do not have to go this journey alone. And that, in fact, there is a God out there. There is a higher power that has promised that nothing can separate us from the love of God, that nothing can separate us from the assurance that this, no matter what we go through in any form of tribulation, of darkness, of brokenness within our lives, that we have a higher power that is there for us. And so the piece that I guess I would like series is to let people know that as they go through this and as they are seeking to make connections, especially as they're saying goodbye to their loved one, is that there is someone or something out there that wants to connect with us on a daily basis, on a moment-by-moment basis, and that connection is this source of love and light. And as these loved ones, these caregivers who themselves so desperately need to be cared for and loved, go through this, is that we do have a resource in prayer and in that connection. And whether it be a form of prayer that happens on a moment-by-moment basis, or whether the caregiver can find moments to, in a quiet room, in a quiet space, or even amidst the busyness, to find a way to connect to that source of love and light, there is an assurance that there will, in fact, be that power available to the caregiver. I had an experience that I wanted to share with you about an individual who themselves did not, in a situation like this, know how to even connect with this power that they were calling God, and themselves they were going through a tragedy, and in this case it had to do with the tragedy of a child that they were ultimately faced with the prospect of losing. And over I would come and visit them in the hospital room, and they would admit to me that they really did not know or begin to know how they would possibly pray to anything that they would call a God. And it was at one point during this brokenness of their journey, and at one point when they were sitting in the silence of their room with this situation that they had over and over again prayed for would include healing and would include a miracle, and were finally given the ultimate answer that was not going to happen. I walked into the room and saw the father holding this child. And he looked up at me and he said, "You know, I have been praying so hard for a miracle. I've been praying so hard for healing. And I now know that is not going to happen. But here's what I am going to pray from this day forward. I am going to pray that I am a part of that miracle. My child will never be a part of that miracle, but I can be a part of that miracle in how I proceed forward in loving this child, in caring for this child while she is still with me." And it speaks to a quote that was given by Søren Kierkegaard, who said, "You know, I'm not so sure that I know whether or not prayer changes the heart of God, but prayer changes him who prays." And I offer that to you today in knowing that so much of what these caregivers, you, the caregiver, are going through, know that the end of the story may seem to be a saying goodbye, and that's the end of the story. But I truly believe that this is where faith and God is far bigger, and the story is far more expansive than we will ever know. And I urge you, in those quiet moments or in those moments when you can find just a simple time to offer yourself and your heart and stay open to the fact that God, in fact, really does want for all of us to not only be agents of healing in this world, but God truly does want, in fact, to heal situations in ways that we just don't know, and to take our brokenness and make us whole in ways that may not look like the conventional ways, but even as caregivers, that power and that source is available to bring some form of healing in this world in ways that we will just never understand. So I urge you, as those who are out there living this love story, and the story that is not ending right now and will not end in the conventional ways, to open yourself up to the possibility that there is a God of love, a God that cares, and that nothing, neither life nor death, nor darkness, nor brokenness can separate you from that love. And God bless you.